What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Not working is something I don't know anything about because I drove back home here and I see how much stuff that I have not done on this house since the spring has sprung. And I'm out here working on this shit right now. Yeah, I'm working on it. I did a video out here at Fish Pond when I first got back, and I said I'm going to try and cut those limbs that were about to fall on my head and kill me. I'm sorry, trolls. Sorry. I took the Widowmaker limb and I cut it down so you don't have to worry about me dying. So you'll have something still to do. But the news for the Cowboys, even though we're in that dreaded time where there's nothing going on but the rent, we've got some news for the Cowboys that are literally turning over every stone. Typically, when we turn over stones, we usually see Eagle fans and 49er fans that are just like running from underneath the rock. But the Cowboys are turning over stones, trying to find themselves some players, some value-added players. We have the Cowboys trying out a first-round drafted cornerback. Oh my God, a first-round pick. Now, see, here's an interesting thing here where Cowboy fans, you don't seem to understand what it's like to have first-round guys that don't really pan out, because typically when the Cowboys draft guys in the first round, they do really, really well. Other teams don't necessarily have as much luck with theirs. You know, we're used to getting the Travis Fredericks, the Tyron Smiths, the Zach Martins, the Micah Parsons, the CD Lambs, and some teams like the Giants have a hard time getting good first-round draft picks. You know, they get guys like Daniel Jones and all that. And DeAndre Baker, who was a #1 draft pick for the New York Giants in 2019, was arrested for aggravated assault and released by the Giants. And yeah. And what happened? What happened was, it turns out the attorney for the person who was claiming that he aggravated and assaulted them was basically extorting money. See Dak Prescott, who's in court today about the very same allegations. But he was released by the New York Giants. In 2020, he was signed by the Kansas City Chiefs. Didn't work out with Kansas City, I'm sure to his chagrin, because going from the Giants to Kansas City, you're like, yeah, I'm going to get a ring on this thing. But didn't pan out with him with Kansas City. But went to the UFL, yes, the UFL, and became a standout cornerback with them, and the Cowboys are trying him out. Now, the Cowboys, to their credit, like to find their homegrown talent. They like to find the diamonds in the rough. They like to find guys that are AKA cheap. Yeah, cheap. That are inexpensive. And sometimes they've actually done very, very well with it. You think about some of the undrafted players like Terrence Steele, who is fully healthy this year, who got himself a mega deal last year after tearing his ACL. I'm kind of wondering, if you play good, if you're better off tearing your ACL to get paid. Because they did that with Michael Gallup too, didn't they? Anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. But they brought him in here for a workout, check him out, see, get a chance to make amends and maybe become a Dallas Cowboy. And we're going to need some guys like this that, cheap, without having to give up draft picks, and you never know. One thing I will say a lot of times about the Dallas Cowboys is they sign people. And at the time, we're like, why are we signing this bum? I remember, because this was actually one of my first autograph signing shows that I ever went to, George Selvey. And that's where I met Nate Newton, too. And Nate Newton was scared of Joe Boo. He's like, man, I don't like that voodoo. But George Selvey was one of those journeymen. I think in his 4 seasons before he came to the Cowboys, he was on 4 different teams, and I think he had a total of like 3.5 sacks. He came to the Cowboys, and they turned his career around, and he ended up having, I think, 7.5 sacks, and he signed a big fat contract to go to the New York Giants, and basically then was never heard from again. But finding guys like this is one of the things that the Cowboys do really, really well. Now, as far as getting contracts done and getting contracts done that are actually good for the team, well, they leave you wanting quite a bit on that one. So they still have some work and stuff to do. But we'll see what happens with him, as well as the linebackers. So we've got 2 UFL standouts that were at the start today. And it's nice to know that they're actually trying to put in a little work here, even though it's school's out for summer. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I'm really enjoying. I forgot how nice it is just to sit out here and hear the water and see the fish and feel the cool breeze. That summer breeze makes me feel fine. Yeah, summer breeze makes me feel fine. I'm not going to mess you up anymore. All right, people. I'll see you soon. I got more work to do. Peace.